If you want to hear my picks on the top 14 palettes for Valentine's Day, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène with another video, and I have decided to do a couple of videos around Valentine's Day. I just filmed my 14 favorite lip recommendations for Valentine's Day, and some of the colors might surprise you. And now I would like to show you the top 14 palettes I have in my collection that make me think or give me Valentine's Day vibes, and I hope you enjoy this look. They are both old and new, so I definitely have a few discontinued items, but I also have some palette recommendations or rankings that are definitely still available for purchase. So I want to show you what I thought as I went through my collection, and I have somewhere in the 80s as far as total palettes, so I had quite a bit, I think, to choose from, and I hope you enjoy my picks. And this is the full spectrum from Urban Decay, and the reason I think of this one is because I have done some really beautiful sunset looks with this palette, and what I am talking about mostly is the top two rows. The first one, which is obviously pinks, and then the peaches and oranges together can make a very, very nice look, along with some of the purples down here. So I really think that there's a lot that can be done with this palette for Valentine's Day, especially if you want a statement eye. I think that this is a great palette if you have it to dig up and play with for some Valentine's Day looks. Now, this next palette, if you had told me I would consider it a Valentine's Day palette, I think I would have looked at you kind of going, what? But it's true. And I thought that as I started using this one, it is the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe collab, the first one that was in Jaclyn's packaging. And this whole corner down here is what makes me think of Valentine's Day, and really this kind of 9-pan. There's shimmer of different types of pink shimmer, and a kind of a burnt red and a burgundy red. But the one that really gets me is this sissy color. So you see how it's kind of duochrome and goes from a hot purpley pink to a pinky gold. I just think it's so beautiful. Again, it's called Sissy. Really, really like it. And it just makes me think of a playful kind of romantic look. But there are a lot of shadows in here that would give a very nice romantic eye. This one I just so love it. I'll even just spread it around a little bit more. Shadow's getting a lot of airtime, but it's so pretty and very feminine but playful at the same time. Okay, I took the swatch off and I have reclaimed my hand. The next one is, yes, it is because of the packaging, but it is especially because of the glitters that really got me. And it is the Ciate Glitter Storm, which I understand is still available, I think on sale at the Ciate London site. And there are a couple of, well, actually all the glitters. All these glitters are beautiful. And then this one and this one, they speak Valentine's Day to me. So that's why that palette made it. I'll just swatch, I think I'll swatch Solar. It's just this kind of bronzy purple burgundy. There's just so much going on with it that I just think it's beautiful. And then the Firestorm glitter is just so cool. You know, this swatch doesn't even do it justice. This palette is beautiful on the eye. Just beautiful and playful, glittery. You can have fun creating an eye look. And I find it very difficult to see how the shadows I don't want to blind you, the shadows in this palette are, how it can be hard to come up with a nice eye look. It's very simple, just 2 or 3 shadows and boom, you have an eye look that you can have as conservative and matte as you like, or as blingy enough to be seen from outer space. So I really like this palette. In 12th place, I am going to say the Just Peachy from Too Faced, and for a couple of reasons. The peaches look like little hearts at the bottom. The packaging is very pretty. It's definitely got some Valentine's Day color feel. And it is this side of the palette where you can see some colors that could easily make a very romantic eye with this palette. And it's all mattes, which makes it easy to bring in a glitter or some shine with a topper if you so choose. I just think it is a very pretty palette and that it would make for a very, very flattering look. It's almost like my equivalent of the modern Renaissance in a way, because you can just see in the colors that you could come up with quite a romantic eye. And yeah, I think it would be a nice experience to use this palette around Valentine's Day. Oh, I'll swatch one. I will swatch the Peach Sangria, which is really the one that I was thinking of when I thought of this palette. This is Peach Sangria right here. Very pretty. Next up, I dare anyone not to think of this palette for Valentine's Day. The chocolate bar palette, duh. And this one has a number of beautiful colors. And of course, there's the purple, some burgundies, a pink, but it's really the fact that you can come up with a very beautiful, shimmery, glittery, smoky eye with this palette that really made me think of it. That and the name, of course. When it comes to smoky eye, I've said it so many times before, but Gilded Ganache, if you're going to use one color, OMG, it is so, so beautiful. But I have done very nice looks with a number of them. The one that will never disappoint is Crème Brûlée. It always looks so, so, so good. And even Hazelnut Marzipan, this whole quad right here just looks super on anyone. And if you want to do a smoky eye but you don't want any glitter, this could be very, very nice with maybe, and just even on its own, just that color. There's just so much that you can do with this palette and yet not have, you know, neon type colors. It's just, there's very little that you can do to go wrong in using these shadows, which is why I think the chocolate bar is pretty darn popular still after all these years. All right, my next one is because of the fact that it makes me think of purples and lilacs, and that is the original Tartlet. I really think the middle row for cool toned is beautiful if you're considering Valentine's Day. This one absolutely. And then if you're looking for a neutral eye that goes a little bit warmer, the top row could be, but it's really this middle row that made me think of this palette for Valentine's Day. This Best Friend shade is just, it's just so pretty. I'm actually wearing on the eye here underneath, I have Linda Hallberry on my eye, but underneath it I have Drizzle by the Smashbox Matte Exposure. That's what the color's in. And I put it on just because it's that kind of a dusty rosy mauve, and it's very flattering on the eye. All right, 8 palettes to go, and I have a few that are quite new to my collection here. The first one that is very, very new, I just finished up a brand new focus on this one, is the Viseart Petit Pro 2. And it's a no-brainer that most of these colors make me think of Valentine's Day. A nice chocolatey brown, a nice purple, and these shimmers on the bottom. I mean, they all just kind of go Valentine's soft, cool-ish look. I think they're all very flattering colors. I wouldn't hesitate to grab for this little guy for a nice romantic look. So definitely was on my list. And one that I don't think would necessarily make the list for folks is this little guy, the Tartiste Pro to Go. And the reason it did, which of course means the Tartiste Pro would make the list as well, is because of these shimmers. These guys and this one, it could be so easy, and I have done it, dominate and hype, and along with these two colors as a base, just make it so easy to have a very pretty, attractive, dare I say, seductive eye for Valentine's Day. So this little guy, you could do a lot with to have quite a fetching eye look. So yeah, made it pretty high on the list. This next one was supposed to be a Christmas release. It's the Shiny Pretty Things Eye Palette in Rose. And Rose, the color, right? The name of the palette even makes me think of Valentine's Day, despite the fact that the packaging is green. But it's these shades right in the middle that really make me think of Valentine's Day along with that purple, right? I mean, these two definitely make me think of Valentine's Day, although this is more orangey red. And then this purple here, you can definitely do a nice smoky, purpley pink look with this palette. And as a matter of fact, if you want to see a Valentine's Day look with any of the palettes that I've mentioned here, please let me know, this one included. I would be happy to show you what it is that I have envisioned when I pulled each one of these palettes out. One palette that I'm about to talk about, you might say, what? But yeah, it's this one. It's the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions, and it's because of this one shade. This one. It shocked the heck out of me. I will link to my first impressions. It's such an interesting color, and you could definitely do like a one bold color look with this. It's just the neatest color. And it knocked my socks off. Just beautiful, beautiful color. And it goes from a rose to kind of a fiery, muted red, pinky red, that and it builds beautifully as a matte. Yeah, I love this color. Like, I don't know what else to say to you about it. I love the color. I think it goes really well with a lot of the other mattes in this palette, and it would definitely go very nicely with shimmer. And yeah, I just think this is beautiful, and this shimmer down in the bottom corner goes really well with it too. I'm just going to layer it onto the side here because this is dual chrome with a pinky peachy shift dual chrome. Do you see how those two just go really well together? So yeah, if you want to do a more colorful look for Valentine's Day, this is just, it's just beautiful. This next palette is discontinued, but I just feel the need to talk about it because of two of the shadows in here, and they are shimmers, and they are called Easy Go and Upon a Star. And to me, a kind of a metallic dusty mauve rose and a metallic burgundy are just, they're beautiful for Valentine's Day look. I'll just swatch those for you. And I would highly recommend that kind of a shadow on the eye. I think they're just beautiful. I mean, look at that. Look at this color, right? Also makes me think of Bordello by Urban Decay, and then this one is kind of a, it builds up burgundy, orangey red. It's really, really pretty. So yeah, semi-precious. And of course, I mean, I say those, but Celestial would be gorgeous. Any of these two would be gorgeous. And of course, if you want to do a smoky bronze look, I mean, yeah, practically all of these colors are beautiful, but the fiery reddish bronze and it's like a dusty rose metallic. I mean, they're just, yeah, they're just beautiful. Okay, I bet you if you know my collection, you will know what my last three are. This is a no-brainer. It has such beautiful pinks and purples in here. A little bit of peach too. You can do so many beautiful romantic looks with this palette. The Naked 3 is just, it's romance in a tin box. So I think that you can go smoky, you can go neutral, you can do shimmery dusty rose, shimmery peach. There's just a lot that you can do with it, and you can even do a beautiful smoky eye with some of these colors. I mean, it's, yeah, it has pretty much any kind of sultry to nice understated, but your eyes but better. You can do a ton with this when it comes to a romantic look. Now, I mentioned this brand in my 14 top picks for lip products for Valentine's Day, and it also made it the second spot out of the 14. It's Dolly's Wild Side. Look at this palette. First off, I mean, the packaging itself says a lot as far as kind of the Valentine's Day feel, and even the names. Silk Sheets, Champagne Buzz, Lingerie Lover, Mink Magnet, Spoiled Sexy, and Wild Nights. I mean, even the colors go with the idea of Valentine's Day. Look at this. I think you can see how you can do a very neutral eye, or just bring it up a notch with the Wild Nights shade. It's every time I use this palette, it just gives me such a nice eye that every time I use it, I vow to use it more. So it is a beautiful, beautiful palette, and Buxom shadows are phenomenal. Okay, this last one is my top pick, but you may argue with me that I should not be doing a top pick, but I will anyway, and that is because the reputation of the palette and also the name of the palette, and it is the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts. And this is a palette that I have not used yet, but I'm putting it in my top spot because every time I hear Colored Rain Queen of Hearts and I look at the color scheme, I do think Valentine's Day. So let me show you real quick. These are the shades in the Queen of Hearts. And I think that you can see the purples, pinks, the shimmers really make me think of Valentine's Day. And this noble woman looks just beautiful. So yeah, this is the top palette in my collection that makes me think of Valentine's Day. And I'm sure it is a big reason why I ended up ordering this palette from Colored Rain in the first place. So am I cheating not having used the palette? You can decide. I decided it was first place for a number of reasons, and I look forward to trying the Queen of Hearts sooner than later. If you want me to bump up Colored Rain in my brand new focus list, please let me know, but this is definitely a palette that I am just chomping at the bit to get my hands into, and I guess my brushes into for the most part. So there you have it, my 14 palettes ranked to least to most that make me think of Valentine's Day or give me Valentine's Day vibes. And I can see myself using some of these palettes to do some looks as Valentine's Day approaches. Do you have a favorite in this list or something that is not in my stack of palettes here? I would love to hear which ones make you think of Valentine's Day and why. And I will just say I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And there is one more coming up with Valentine's Day suggestions that don't fit into lip products or palettes. What might they be? Thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.